Today, I'm unpacking the narcissist's 8 favorite catchphrases so you can spot them a mile away and then do whatever you need to do to take good care of yourself. Let's do it. Hey friends, welcome to my channel. If it's your first time here, my name is Tamie Joyce. I'm the founder of Tamie Coaching, and I run a powerful 8-week transformational coaching program called the Freedom Class, specific to healing and recovery from codependency and narcissistic abuse. If that's of interest to you, be sure to stick around till the end of the video where I'll tell you exactly how you can learn more about my coaching programs. So let's unpack the narcissist's 8 favorite catchphrases, starting with number 1. You're paranoid, insecure, and jealous. Project much? Here's the thing. Narcissists are notoriously, pathologically jealous and green with envy, even if they're really good at hiding it. The more you get to know them, the more obvious that becomes. And I think it's at least a part of the reason why they so enjoy working to inspire envy and jealousy in others. If they can flirt with someone else in front of you, as in the case of a narcissistic partner or spouse, or praise someone else in front of you, which is often something a narcissistic parent will do, deliberately pitting siblings against one another and working to inspire jealousy in one child or grandchild by praising and edifying the other, usually the golden child or grandchild. Meanwhile, the child or grandchild who's been cast as the family scapegoat is perpetually criticized, devalued, diminished, demeaned, invalidated, and discredited. So, know in advance that narcissistic people will go out of their way to deliberately manufacture and inspire feelings of envy and jealousy in you and others, even their children and grandchildren. And when you're being treated unfairly, like for example, when the person who is supposed to be committed to you, who is supposedly in love with you, is flirting with others in front of you, well, that's going to be something that's going to hurt naturally. It's going to inspire some feelings, some very legitimate feelings. And the narcissist loves this. Why? Well, because this is a form of narcissistic supply for them. If they can destabilize you and get you to a place of feeling unsure, insecure, or fearful even, well, needless to say, the intense emotional reaction this can inspire is a source of grade A narcissistic supply for anyone who lands on the spectrum of destructive narcissism. It feeds their fragile little ego. It makes them feel powerful, superior, and alive. It reminds them that they're significant, important even, in a very sick way, of course, but they don't see it that way. The thing is, narcissists can't get their need for significance satisfied in healthy ways. So, having you compete for their attention and affection is a game that they love to play. And they will play it for as long as you're willing to participate. And when you disengage and stop participating in the nonsense, the whole dynamic falls apart, and fast. In addition, narcissists love to manufacture insecurities in you by pointing out flaws and shortcomings, usually flaws and shortcomings that don't even exist. And this is nothing more than a game of undermining any sense of self-worth you might otherwise have by diminishing and demeaning you at whatever cost. Again, whatever it takes to destabilize you, to keep you second-guessing yourself and off balance, because as long as you're feeling insecure, you're less likely to muster up the strength and the courage to do what you need to do to take good care of yourself, to remove yourself from the situation. So, know that they will go out of their way to manufacture fear and insecurity in you by diminishing and demeaning you in whatever way they feel they can get away with. They'll do it behind your back, via bitter, cruel, and highly manipulative character assassination, and they'll do it to your face, passively and aggressively, if they think they can get away with it. So, it's important to know that all of your hunches and your gut instincts about the narcissist's inappropriate behavior, their affairs and extracurricular activities, are probably 100% accurate. Catchphrase number 2, You have trust issues. You know in your bones what an untrustworthy person the narcissist is because they've already lied to you and about you repeatedly. Nonetheless, the narcissist will accuse you of being the one who has trust issues. And they do this as a means of deflection and blame shifting. It's how they work to avoid accountability and responsibility for the very untrustworthy way they show up in the relationship. So here's the thing. Your gut instinct is, like I said, 100% right. But the narcissist will never admit it. So when someone accuses you of having trust issues for no other reason than you're onto them, the best thing you can do is to make the decision to love and trust yourself enough to run in the other direction, for real. Catchphrase number 3, you're overreacting. Other variations of this are, you're so sensitive, or it was just a joke. Please. All this means is that you're having a perfectly rational and legitimate emotional response to what is often incredibly cruel and hurtful attitudes and behavior. Relationship crimes, literally. But all the narcissist can see is that you're catching on. So let the gaslighting begin. And what I mean by gaslighting is, this is when the narcissist will twist, distort, use misleading statements, lie by omission, and lie outright, whatever works, with deliberate intent to cause you to second guess yourself and doubt your perception of reality. And if you want to learn more about gaslighting, you can watch this video here and this video here. The bottom line is, it's all about invalidating you, emotionally and otherwise. As long as they can undermine your credibility and get you second guessing yourself, what it is you know, you feel, you saw, you heard, what you actually experienced, what you lived. If they can get you to second guess yourself, they win. And that's the point. As long as you're busy doubting yourself, sinking deeper and deeper into confusion, they don't have to suffer any consequences for their appalling attitudes and behavior. And a narcissist will be willing to say whatever it takes to sidestep accountability and responsibility. So, you're overreacting is something you'll often hear when you're dealing with someone with a destructive narcissist personality pattern. Catchphrase number 4, you'd be nothing if it weren't for me. Now, hear me. You know you're dealing with someone who lands on the spectrum of destructive narcissism when this comes out of their mouth. Other variations of this catchphrase are, you'll never find someone like me. Or, who's going to want you? Or, nobody else would put up with you. Or, you'll never find someone who loves you the way I do. Again, please, I sure hope not. Now, the narrative the narcissist is trying to sell you on is this. This is as good as it gets, baby. Yeah, wow. When you think about some of the things that you've been on the receiving end of, and they have the audacity, the nerve to add to it, you'd be nothing if it weren't for me. This is as good as it's ever going to get for you. Nobody else is ever going to treat you as good as I do, love you the way I do, accept you and all of your obvious flaws the way I do. Again, wow. Look, if you never ever in your life meet someone else like the narcissist, if you end up alone in a relationship just with you, you'll be better off, I promise. That's the truth. Now, that said, here's what else is true. There are 8 billion people on this planet, and only a fraction of them land on the spectrum of destructive narcissism, a small fraction. So there is no reason, if you desire lasting, happy, healthy love, there is no reason that you can't find the healthy, genuine love that you desire. If that's the desire of your heart, you can create that for yourself at any age. And here's how. By doing your healing and recovery work, for starters, and by becoming a match to healthy love so that you can call it into your reality. And if you never meet someone else like the narcissist, I promise you that'll be a very good thing. The narcissist wants you pining after them for the rest of your life. And the emotional and psychological game that they play to have you feeling isolated, alone, fearful, and insecure is nothing more than a pack of lies. all of it. If you were actually to step into your power, connect with your true self, your authentic core, do the healing and recovery work necessary to get to a place where you are living empowered, confident, and free, fully owning your true value and worth, you wouldn't give the narcissist the time of day. You wouldn't even cross the street for them. That's what's true. Now, comment below and let me know whether or not you can relate to any of this. Let me know in the comments section below. Also, if you'd like to learn more about the possibility of working with me in one of my coaching programs, there's a link in the description below this video where you can apply to see if you qualify for a free one-on-one consultation with either myself or a member of my team. In addition, there's also a free gift section in the description below this video, so be sure to avail yourself of that as well. Catchphrase number 5, who would believe you? They use this one when they've isolated you to the point where you feel that you have no support. And they've probably smeared you to the point where you've actually lost some credibility with some folks as well. It's how the narcissist rolls. They actually undermine your credibility in advance as a preemptive measure, so people are more likely to believe their lies. So, the unfortunate reality is, when we've been on the receiving end of narcissistic abuse, there are going to be some people who are going to be duped, who are going to be fooled for any number of reasons, not least being they simply do not know what they do not know. They've been brainwashed by a master manipulator. Therefore, they'll be deceived into believing that the narcissist is actually a good, kind, decent, and genuine person. Narcissists being the excellent performers that they are. Remember, people who land on the spectrum of destructive narcissism are liars and master manipulators. And they lie and manipulate with tremendous ease, zero guilt, shame, or remorse. So, others don't necessarily see the side of the narcissist that you or I would see, having been on the receiving end of their abusive personality, the toxicity, and all of the insanity the narcissist brings to the table. So we have to get to a place of surrendering to and accepting that reality, painful as it may be. In particular, pre-healing and recovery, believe me, I know just how painful this can be. Nonetheless, we must get to a place where it doesn't matter what other people think or choose to believe. We know the truth. The God, the higher power of our understanding, knows the truth. And we're good with that. I know that's easier said than done, again, especially pre-healing and recovery, but believe me, you can get there. It can be done. And I promise you, if you do your work, you can get your self-esteem to a place where you are fully bulletproof. And it doesn't matter what the narcissist says about you. You know the truth. You know the reality of the situation. And when we do our work, that becomes enough. The thing is, the narcissist wants you feeling isolated and alone. This way, you're far easier to manipulate, dominate, and control. And it's always about domination, power, and control with the narcissist. Now, that said, if you do muster enough self-esteem, self-love, courage, and strength to walk away from the dynamic, whatever the dynamic is, an abusive family, toxic in-laws, or a toxic place of employment, or a harmful romantic relationship, or friendship. Maybe a friendship you've long outgrown. Whatever the case may be, when you muster the self-esteem, self-respect, personal dignity and integrity, and self-love to do what you need to do to remove yourself from the dysfunctional and toxic dynamic, the narcissist gets to run with whatever twisted and distorted narrative serves them at the time, serves their agenda. And your job is to be so focused on loving yourself, building yourself up, healing yourself, and doing the real work of recovery, creating an amazing life for yourself, getting to a place of peace and freedom, so much so that you're good. It doesn't matter. And I promise you, when you do the right work, you can get there, and faster than you might imagine. Number 6, you're crazy. Narcissists love to poke, provoke, prod, and inspire high voltage, intense emotional reactions. Why? Well, again, it's one of the key ways that they are fed narcissistic supply. It helps them know that they're alive, albeit in a really sick way. It boosts their false sense of superiority and causes them to feel like they are all powerful and ever so important by hurting you. For real. So, they will treat you in a way to inspire intense high voltage emotional reactions by poking at you and provoking you long enough to get a reaction from you. The more intense the reaction, the better for the narcissist, because they can then say, see, you're the crazy one. You're the one who's emotionally and psychologically unstable. You're the one with the issues. You're not okay. After all, who would actually listen to you and the truth of your experience, what you're living, what you're on the receiving end of with this abusive individual, when they can so easily prove to everyone just how angry, bitter, and emotionally unstable you are, simply by provoking you. And they're really, really good at it. Meanwhile, you lose all credibility, while the narcissist sits back, calm, cool, and collected, with a smirk of smug satisfaction on their face, pretending as if all is well, and they have no ever-loving idea what your issue is. Again, pretty sick stuff, and it's time now to stop falling for it. Number 7, now this one's a classic. My ex is crazy, like really crazy, off the charts crazy. Now, what this really means is they drove their ex crazy, off the charts crazy, through all the circular, mind-bending, crazy-making conversations and all the crazy-making attitudes, behavior, and relationship crimes they've committed. They absolutely drove their ex crazy. As I said, they rather enjoy poking, provoking, and prodding others for no other reason than to inspire a reaction so they can then turn around and point the finger. So remember, when someone is telling you how crazy their ex is, this is a big red flag. Back up, take your time, and proceed with serious caution. Again, huge red flag, and one you don't want to ignore. Here's the thing. Healthy people don't have to diminish their ex in order to prop themselves up to feel better about themselves, nor do they have any need to paint themselves as the victim to someone else's villain. But narcissists do, all day long. Catchphrase number 8, he or she is just a friend. Meaning, the narcissist likes having this person or these people on the back burner, on the side, at the ready, just in case they get bored or you get wise or whatever, just in case they find themselves in need of another source of narcissistic supply. Also, this "we're just friends" nonsense serves the narcissist in terms of letting you know just how easily you could be replaced if he were to be foolish enough to step out of line, according to them. You know, do something that they disapprove of or do something that disappoints them in some way. You could be replaced, just like that. And they want you to know it. They want you to feel unsure and insecure. Should you ever decide to take care of yourself and leave of your own accord, they've got someone else already lined up, ready to replace you. And this is standard operating procedure for people who land on the spectrum of destructive narcissism. Think about that. So know that if this is the game that they're playing with you, don't kid yourself. Chances are good this person is already a friend with benefits. And if you dare complain about the narcissist's absolute inappropriate behavior with this so-called friend of theirs, if you dare express the very real hurt that this is understandably causing you, the narcissist will simply turn it around and blame you. You're the issue, you know, not because your intuition is bang on, but because you're paranoid, insecure, and jealous. And so it goes on and on until you finally realize you're worth far more than the pitiful nonsense the destructive narcissist brings to the table. It's time now. And on that note, I'm going to call it a wrap. But before I go, you should know the Ascension Class is open for enrollment. Now, this is for you if you're ready and able to invest in yourself. You're ready to shift your identity, master the law of attraction, heal your relationship with money, and put a full stop end to the limiting beliefs and self-sabotaging behaviors that are holding you back and preventing you from living your best life. If you're ready to reinvent yourself from the inside out, create your dream life by design, and finally become the you were always meant to be, click on the link in the description below this video to apply to see if you qualify for a free one-on-one consultation with either myself or a member of my team.